Hi, my name's Trent, and today we're going to learn about recording environment, mic technique, and recording levels. So wherever you are, the first thing you need to do is find a nice, quiet place to record. One thing that's going to greatly improve the quality of recording is minimizing noise and reverberation in your environment. So we need to find an area that doesn't have too many reflective surfaces, as that could create a lot of reverb or echo on the recording. The technical term for this is actually called early reflections. Kitchens, bathrooms, large lounge rooms with wooden floors, meeting rooms are all not very ideal recording spaces. If you're at home, generally the best room in the house is going to be your bedroom because you have your bed in there, your comforter on top, and it's more than likely to be carpeted. That will help a lot to eliminate any early reflections. Even better still is a closet. If you have a closet big enough, you can line it with comforters or sleeping bags. This will greatly reduce early reflections, but the entire surface should be covered with material that will absorb sound. On the higher end, you may want to think about a pre-made voiceover booth such as a whisper room, or my favorite cheaper option, which is called studio bricks. So once you've found a nice quiet space, then we just need to sit in the space and listen to what sounds are happening around us and try to eliminate them. For example, you can turn off the air conditioning, close the window, close the doors, close the curtains. So there are lots of things that you can do to get rid of extraneous noises. Even a computer fan next to you can make a lot of noise and ruin an entire recording. Next thing we want to talk about is microphones and mic technique. So firstly, a cheap microphone stand will always fall over. So look into buying a stand that's sturdy. Once we have a good microphone stand, then it's always good to have a microphone shock mount. This helps eliminate bumps coming from the floor if you're moving around while performing. So there's two types of popular microphones, condenser mics and dynamic mics. Both microphones sound inherently different and can be used differently in different situations. Dynamic microphones have low sensitivity and are helpful when you have a loud sound source or a group of people talking together in the same room. This is because dynamic microphones reject spill coming from other sound sources. So in other words, they're less prone to picking up another person speaking in the same room. Because dynamic microphones are less sensitive, they require you to get closer to the microphone, which introduces problems of popping, mouth clicks, elevated breath noises, and other unwanted effects. If you're recording solo, a condenser microphone, on the other hand, is more sensitive, so it doesn't require you to be as close to the microphone capsule. Along with a distinctive sound, this is part of the reason condenser microphones became an industry standard choice for recording dialogue and narration. So my personal choice for recording in this situation is a condenser microphone. Some nicely priced condenser microphones that work well are the MXL 2006, the MXL V63M, and the Rode NT1. In the higher price range would be a Sennheiser 416 or a Neumann TLM 103. This is a favorite for voice actors and singers. So a condenser microphone is a better choice in most cases as it's more sensitive and less prone to changes in the sound when moving around. Having said that, when recording dialogue that requires screaming or loud delivery, you'll want to step back from the mic somewhat. And if you're recording dialogue that requires whispering, obviously you should come a little bit closer. But a general rule is never get too close to a microphone capsule. Many problems like popping, mouth clicks, elevated breaths, and fluctuating bass response can occur as a result. As far as your distance from the mic, you may be familiar with the technique of holding one hand up and stretching out your pinky and your thumb to measure your distance from the microphone. This is actually a pretty good way of measuring correct distance, and it normally equates to around 7 to 9 inches. It's always a good idea to angle the mic away from you a bit on its axis. This will help eliminate pops. In addition to this, a pop shield should also be placed about 4 inches away from the microphone. Also, while it may seem obvious, always check that you're performing into the correct side of the microphone. Most condenser microphones are side firing and will be labeled on the side that the capsule is picking up from. So, we've talked about recording environment, recording choice, and recording distance. Now we want to address recording levels. Recordings that are too soft will mean that we'll have to increase levels on your recording when we're mixing. That's okay, but it will also increase the noise floor or hiss that is actually inherent in every recording. Recording too loud is even worse, as you could be clipping or distorting the signal going into your interface. This is even harder to fix, and it can often result in a re-record, which no one wants. So you have to check and maintain your recording levels. So the best thing to do is test the level going into your interface while performing dialogue and adjust the recording level so it sits in the middle of your level meter. Once you've set this, then mark it with a pencil or a piece of tape. If a particular line requires a louder delivery, shouting or screaming, then just adjust your recording level down appropriately so it sits in the middle of your level meter again. Then mark that spot as well. If your performance requires softer delivery, then turn up the level on your interface and mark that. These 3 markings will help you deliver usable audio to sound designers, and you'll rarely have to do pickups or re-records for technical issues. Lastly, and most importantly, the best thing in my experience to do before you do a recording, just record one sentence and check it back in your headphones, and just make sure that before you go into the recording session that you're recording good audio. Once you've finished the session and you're about to upload, listen to the recording again. Just make sure that it sounds okay, then there's no comebacks. So in this video, we've learnt about recording environment, microphone choice, microphone technique, and recording levels. So I hope this helps, and thanks for listening. Bye.